Hey, what's up, y'all? This is a random Happy New Year chat. My name is Diamond. I am the host of Marsha's Plate podcast, and we are in 2022. Close some of these windows, chat. How is everybody's New Year going so far? How was your holiday? Hey, Isabella. Hey, CL. How are you? Happy New Year's. Hey, Randito. Can y'all hear me good? Let me make sure this is down. Seems like it's a little high. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. It was so good. What about yours in Mexico? Mine was really good. I parasailed. I went ATV driving. I got to swim in a canoe. I think that's how you pronounce it, which is like an underwater type situation. And it's like this watering hole that's like 45 to 150 feet deep, and it goes into these underwater caves, but you just kind of swim in the hole. It's crazy. Did I try some new food? No, I live in Texas, so anything that they would serve in Mexico, they serve somewhere in in Houston, and I probably have eaten it. So, um, with so much Latin American culture here in Texas, it's very little that I haven't tried in Mexican cuisine. Hey, Marissa, Happy New Year's. Hey, Van, I don't know what you said that was retracted, but hey. Hey, Brandon. Tony, how are you? Tony Matrimony. Happy New Year. Yes, it was so amazing. It was a blast. I went with a couple of girlfriends, and we've been on trips before with each other. So of course, you don't go on trip with bitches that you don't like. So we love each other and we always have a good time together. But this time we decided to be a little bit more adventurous. so so it was fun. It was exciting. It was good. I loved it. They had a funny, cute little moment was during Christmas they had Santa Claus on jet skis going across the back and forth across the beach. It was so cute. He was in his Santa Claus suit, of course, and he was going back and forth. It was adorable, and the kids that were there was like, "Oh, it was super cute." I loved it. I love how they did the paradise Christmas vibe. I live for the gold hoop earrings, girl. Thank you. They're actually not hoops. They're like I don't know what that is. That thing that go. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's not all the way closed. It's like a U or whatever. But I got these from this boutique called Jabri. This is also an outfit from Jabri. It is a jumpsuit that is really, really cute. I love it. And yeah, I love it. It's my team. Yeah, it's a bull ring. I love it. It's cute. But thank you. Thank you. Y'all see I'm back to my red, honey. I got tired of the white. I'll go back to it maybe in the summertime or something. Uh, but yes. Hey Vaughn, Andre, Van Werner. Hello. What has been going on? New Year's, me and Brian went out. We wanted to we was kind of apprehensive about going out because we were both vaccinated, but Omicron is out here, so we like, ooh, what's up? And so we didn't go in any club, but we tipped around the neighborhood to multiple bars and clubs, seeing what it was giving, and it wasn't packed. So Omicron got folks scared. They staying in the house. It wasn't packed. Who's going to pick up trans griot blog since Monica passed? Nobody can replace Monica Roberts, so I don't think anybody can just pick it up. Monica had a very unique style. She had a very unique perspective. She would do sports and stuff on her blog. She would do trans stuff. Dee Dee is apparently trying to continue the trans griot blog, but I there was a lot of mess going on with her that I don't really want to go into on public. But if you ask people around what happened, but there was a lot of mess around Monica's passing, and it ended me and Dee Dee's friendship. So um, I don't really talk to her no more, and so yeah, I assume that she's trying to keep it going, but nobody is supporting it because it feels um like a exploitation. It feels like a this thing you doing too much. But I don't really know. But Monica legacy goes on, just based on all the people that she impacted. So as far as the trans griot thing, for me, it's over because nobody can replace Monica. I would have loved, and it's still up. You can still engage with it, but I would have loved for some trans journalists to kind of pick up the mantle and do the damn thing in the right way. And so, if that had been done, it could have went on. But you know, nobody can replace Monica. So I hope that answers your question. Um, but there are tons of media sources now. They're not Monica, but there's tons of media sources now. Of course, Marsha's Plate. I personally love Ashley Bree's Tea Time Network. I really like her um, because she not only does she Ashley Bree not only shares the news, but she shares like the messy stuff that goes on, which is funny to me. What about Amara Jones of Trans Lash Media? I think that is a good platform. It's just not black enough for me. I like black centered trans experiences. And although it is a black trans led um, platform, the focus isn't blackness. The focus feels like just trans in general. And I prefer, like Monica, where there's a focus in black trans marginalized POC um, media. And so for me, that that's not for me. But she is that is a black trans led media platform, and it's good. If you want just general information, I'm pretty sure it's great. It's not for me, but I don't know her personally, so I don't want anybody to think that that's shade. It's just it doesn't feel black enough for my taste. But that's another option. There are tons of general trans media sources like them. Um, there's a um, LGBT Nation. There's tons of stuff like that. So I just like a very particular type of angle. Diamond, would you consider interviewing FD Signifier? Yes, I would. I always got some things under my sleeve. That is absolutely my favorite cishet male content creator. I love him. I watch him. I don't watch too many dudes, but he is one of the people who that are cishet men that I really, really like. So that is on the agenda. Seek the signifier. Yes, I love him. You know who else I love? Mahogany Pink. Seek is awesome. Yes, he is awesome. Yes, yes, yes. I have no subject matter, so y'all can ask whatever questions y'all want to ask. I'm just on here chit chatting with y'all because I don't have anything to do, and it's Tuesday, and um, and I haven't been on in a couple of Fridays because of the holidays. But yes, I am because my mom passed, and the 18th of December was my mom passing's anniversary. And because my mom is gone, I don't really have a quote unquote home to go to, like for the holidays, or you go home to your parents. I don't really have that anymore now that she passed. Um, so my new tradition is to travel to somewhere I've never been during Christmas. So I haven't and I have a whole urn. This is my mom's urn, a whole urn of her ashes. And because she never really got to travel out of the country because of poverty and just her life experience, I want to take her to every place that I go and leave some of her ashes to honor her. Wherever place that I go around the world, I want to take a little bit of her ashes here. So that's how I'm going to honor my mother. I almost dismissed her as another femininity channel, but she seems different. Oh, she's definitely not a femininity channel. Not the stuff that I've listened to. Feminist channel, yes, but not a femininity channel. But I haven't listened to every episode. um, I haven't listened to every episode of her channel, so I don't know. But do you like Ashley Marie Preston, trans activist? Yes, I like Ashley Marie Preston. I like her. I don't know her personally. Um, I don't know what she does. I can't. I know she talks on different platforms and she hosts different things, but her actual contribution to community, I don't know exactly what she does. So I can't talk about Ashley Marie Preston a lot because I don't know what she does. So yeah. Um, but I know she's popular. I know I know her claim to fame was like interrupting like some um did she interrupt some kind of panel or something? But as far as like her organizing work, I don't know what she does, honestly. But yeah, but yeah, I like her. I think she talks really, really well. I did meet her in at the Trans March in DC, the very, very first one. And um and she was way more reserved and quiet and um than I expected her to be. I met her in DC at this little gala, this awards gala, and she was there, and um yeah, she was way more reserved and quiet and kind of observant than I thought that she would be. I thought she would be more not loud, more you know extroverted. That's what it is. But she was not. She was real low key and down to earth. If you go to Marsha's Plates Facebook page, I have a photo album of because I was hired to be the photographer for that event and media. And I have a photo album of that whole event. And I took pictures of tons of people, and you can just scroll through, and there's tons of trans activists and just beautiful pictures because that is a skill that I have. So you can go on the page and check that out if you want to see pictures of her, tons of other people. That's a dope way to honor your mom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We need to go on a trip together. Yes, bitch, definitely. I love that. Are you gonna be on T.S. Madison's Fox Soul show as a guest? If T.S. Madison asks me, I sure will. Yeah, I would. Happy 2022. Brianna, I just got done binging your new podcast. Y'all check out Girl Down podcast, Brianna Juicy Bite Size episodes. Yes, Brianna has a new podcast. She is venturing out on her own and doing an amazing job. Um, hey, Roma, how are you? Diamond, do you know about Plume? I do not know about Plume. Tell me about Plume. Mm, 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 mm. Yes. Yeah, do y'all have a link to Brianna's podcast? Do you see the new episode of It's Like That? Miranda is fully immersed. I have not. I have only seen the first two or three. I've only seen the episodes. It's only been. It was only two, right? The first. When did Big? I think the one after Big died. So I think that's the third episode. I didn't watch after the third episode. I just haven't been back. It's not that I didn't like it. Um, but yeah, it's not that I didn't like it. Yeah, I liked it. I did like it. I did like it, but I just didn't go back. I have other shit that I'm more interested in. Wheel of Time is amazing. It's an amazing show. Witcher came back. Um, it's an amazing show. Witcher. It was just more interesting things that I could watch. So I didn't. I haven't went back to it. When I don't have a fucking Matrix came out. It just was more interesting thing. I haven't. Yeah. Sex in the City wasn't my jam for real. It wasn't my jam like that. Like I've never watched a full season of Sex in the City. I watched a couple of episodes. I've watched, I know the characters well enough. I've watched enough episodes to where I know the characters and I know what the show is about. But it wasn't my jam. So yeah. I'm binging Queen Sugar. It is so good. I tried to watch Queen Sugar. It just didn't grab my attention. So Plume, a network of fur transgender patients and providers available in California. A network for, is that what you mean? For transgender patients. And I thought you was talking about fur transgender. Like it was some kind of kink, baby. For transgender patients and providers available in California, New York, Texas, Florida, and Georgia, I believe. I have to look them up and look into them. Happy New Year's, Kingdom of a Queen. I don't feel obligated to watch the sequel. Don't feel obligated to watch the sequel. What sequel? What are we talking about? Sequel to what? Ooh, about to be exposing y'all some nipples. Queen Sugar is depressing. Every time they take one step forward, they knock you back too. Queen Sugar pulled you in slowly. I cried all through the first season. Oh, yeah, it just didn't pull me in. I tried. I think I watched like a couple of, and just like that. Oh, okay. You don't feel obligated to watch the sequel. That makes sense. Do you watch the finale of Insecure? I did. I am a Insecure fan. I am not Team Lawrence, so I. It's not that I was disappointed. That's the typical happy ending. They get together we've seen them go through their stuff and ooh, they finally worked it out. I get it, but I wasn't Team Lawrence. I did not want her to be with Lawrence. I can't say that I necessarily wanted her to be with Nathan, but I would much rather her just move on and go on with her life single and in the hopes that in our imagination she can find somebody. But I'm just not a Lawrence fan. I just don't like Lawrence. Lawrence is somebody who, you know, I just don't. He's just somebody who he every one of his big moves to prove himself to Issa was motivated by somebody else. It wasn't his own mind. Even like this last little episode, the last before last episode, it was Chad who influenced him to try to fight, not fight for Issa, but be real with her. Like if Chad wouldn't have had that conversation with him, Lawrence would have never did did shit. He would have never did anything. And if you watch the whole each season, every one of his motivations he had to be pushed by somebody else's action. Even getting his fucking life together and being motivated in his career. If Issa hadn't cheated, he would have been laying his lazy ass just like he was for the first 4 years of their relationship, laying his lazy ass around doing shit, unmotivated. She literally, not saying that she was right in cheating on him because that was dead ass wrong, but that's what motivated him to get out and do some shit with your fucking life and go out and be ambitious. Like Lawrence was fucking whack. No, get out of here. Look, Chad say putting a battery in his back. Exactly. So you ain't got no kind of battery. Fuck out of here. I don't like that. I just didn't like it. It's romantic. It's like okay, they got back together and he got his shit together now. So all the problems that they had before, but now, girl, you can be manipulated because you cheated, and it's just no. I don't like all that. When it could have all been good if you could have got your shit together in the beginning and had some ambition. I couldn't stand Nathan or Lawrence. It's not that I couldn't stand Nathan or Lawrence. I think Nathan needed to work. He was too fresh in working on his mental health. I think they could have vibed, but it was too fresh. He needed to have some time by himself. Um, yeah, me too. I wanted her to meet someone new. Yep. And I don't like that they didn't bring back Daniel, at least for like a little moment. You couldn't bring back Daniel, the finest nigga on the show. Y'all brought back ugly ass Dro for a little moment with Molly. Why we couldn't have a moment with Daniel? Let's see. I'm gonna be like her old with a younger man. I hated the way it ended. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I get it. It's a romantic ending. Happy ending. Lawrence gets on my nerve. Lawrence was lame. Yes. My bestie made me watch the last episode. It was my first one. I was still disappointed. Oh, you need to watch the season. You need to watch Insecure. Insecure is a culture shift in television. Actually, it's kind of not revolutionary. I wouldn't say revolutionary, but it is a new kind of presentation. We, how many times have we seen two dark skinned black women leading? You know what I'm saying? Leading and just being regular girls for and showcasing black women friendship in that way, in a new age, new kind of way. We had the friends moment, the girlfriends moment, the living single moment, da 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 da. But these was just regular girls to me. Mm. It was a watershed moment for modern black TV. Yes, definitely. Um, I haven't watched Insecure since the second season. That's my next show to binge. Yeah, I love it. My bestie made me da 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 da. They didn't have chemistry. She had a sad smile the whole second half of the show. Mm, yeah. I didn't feel I don't know. I didn't feel you don't feel the chemistry that Lawrence and her have, but I don't feel there was no chemistry. I also just on a storytelling critique of the last season, there were certain things that I just didn't enjoy the choices they made. Like we spent one of them episodes, we spent the whole episode watching her and Nathan fucking find a fucking dog. There were so many stories in the last episode that we could have explored instead of that story. There was so many, you know, so much shit. I just I don't like how they presented everything on a critique of storytelling. It could have been we could have had an episode with Daniel Child. Um, she was playing stepmom at the end. I couldn't see that for Issa. I could see it. To be fair, Issa was dropping hints. I think part of him wanted to do it, but he wasn't motivated enough to take the first step. Right, taking advantage of her. Miss Skeeter got better and better each season, definitely. The previous episode recap was all needed to see if Lawrence the whole soul yelled nope at him. It would have been so powerful if Eva chose herself. Nathan is flighty like me. um, let's see. My biggest issue was the speeding through everything. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Brighter than yours. It didn't need to speed. There was moments that we didn't need. We didn't need that dog episode. We needed the Molly mama dying part, but we didn't need that fucking chasing the dog. Did we need that? Issa and Lawrence just had history. Yes, absolutely. Harmon Run the World 20s The Shy. For some reason, The Shy has just gives me no interest. I even hear that there's a trans character, and it just does. Once I once what's her name? Lena Waithe failed me with the Queen and Slim movie. It was a major fail for me. That movie was a major fail. It was set up to be so great, and the ending was horrible. I hated the ending of Queen of Sugar. I stopped being a fan of Lena Waithe after that. So I stopped supporting anything she creates or have anything to do with. So it just was such a failure. So I don't have any hope for her stuff no more. Run the World, don't know what that is. Harlem, I want to watch. The 20s, I want to watch. Queen of Sugar was traumatic as fuck. I just didn't like it. The end, I loved it was all the way up to the end. The end, it went from boom, it just crashed at the end. Shy lost me after the second season. I need a Kelly spin-off. I don't know enough about Kelly. I don't like how they didn't get into Kelly's tea or have a moment with Kelly. I don't like how they didn't have that. I wanted them to have a moment. Um, Harlem is a good one. It felt like a brown SATC. Sex in the City. Interesting. I like your analysis about Kelly's depiction on Tea with Queen and Jay podcast. That was a good episode. Two of my favorites. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the trans character on the show. She is not here for the shits. Amen. Yeah. What else have I been watching? I'm into, I'm excited about the House of Dragon coming out. I'm excited about, that's my type of shit. Wheel of Time, House of Dragon. You know, give me some magical dragons or Magic shit. Give me all of that. I need that. Period piece. That shit is my tea. So I'm looking for more of futuristic sci-fi or past sci-fi, magical, witchy, dragon shit. Give me that. Give me all that. I need more of that. Right. Kelly's story needs to be developed more. Definitely. She just was pissing me off with the they were pissing me off with the Kelly butt of the joke. Um all we knew about Kelly is that she was a slut and she was weird, like jokingly weird. I know it's very white, but does anyone watch Succession? I heard Succession was good. I just never watched it. Where that's from? Anybody know where that's from? Did you watch scenes from A Marriage on HBO? That was super good writing and the acting was phenomenal. No, I've never watched that. What did I just watch um on HBO? I watched this show, Murder on Starving Rock. This documentary that was good. Um, and then I watched on Netflix The Many Faces of Billy Mulligan or Milligan or something. Y'all need to watch that shit, y'all. That was like, wow. Um, I wish we had more adult cartoons. I get tired of rewatching the Boondocks and Black Dynamite. Yeah, I don't really watch. I watch Fire. If it's a cartoon, it has to be like um something like the animation is like top tier. The two I watched two recently. Um they're both on Netflix. One is called Green Snake, which is fire as fuck. Um Top animations on Netflix. Let's see if I can find all the ones. I don't know what that is. Ooh. Oh no, they're showing all the kitty ones. Let me see if I can adult. Green Snake was really good. There was another one that was really good. Green Snake, and then something about one is about these two like sisters. There's like this poison that they can. Is are they sisters? I don't know. One is like a they they both. I don't know if y'all watched it, but basically this gang of
Sorry,
kids.
I don't understand.
Oh, shut up. Um, this gang of kids kind of grow up together, and the dude that raises them, they end up killing him. And one of the girls, she was supposed to stay home, but she came and she had this like little bomb thing, and it messed up the plans and got a lot of people killed. And the older sister was like you shouldn't have came, you fucked up everything. So she ran away and went with the evil dude, and he raised her to be evil. But then when she sees her sister, she had this kind of mental thing where she got almost like she got two different personalities. One that is really fond of her sister, but then the evil one who is not. Or it's just weird. It's just so fucking good though. But like, it's so fucking good. where they both on. It's like three different sides, like the hood side trying to up, and there's like a ruling class side that is trying to destroy the lower class side. It's wild. I don't know what the fuck the name of that one is. Damn. Big Mouth and BoJack are great. Yeah, those are more comedy. I don't really. I'll just watch the clips that people post of those shows. It just feels like comedy. Those feels like comedy. I don't really. That ain't really my tea. Certain things like is Big Mouth the ones with the hormone monster lady. I love the clips of her. Um, but um, yeah, the comedy ones I don't really be on like that. I never watched G Force. Was that I Still Believe? Oh no, I don't know what that is. Southside on HBO Max is funny as hell. I never watched that. Mm. Hey, Vang Chick. I feel like you would enjoy BoJack. It was a lot of references of Hollywood tropes, kind of poke fun at the whole system. Mm. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Witcher. I don't know if y'all like Witcher shit, but Witcher was my tea. I loved it. Um, what else have I been watching? There is a show. I don't know if y'all like shows like this, but I like shows like this. Anything like cooking, like anytime, but those kind of really high, high quality cooking shows on Netflix. Um, or like design shows like this one is called Made by Design. It kind of features a lot of black like um interior designers or furniture designers or art designers, not fashion, like designers like architecture and furniture house shit. Um and it's called Made by Design and it features a lot of black artists and it's really good. I like that. It shows you like some in because what's happening in my life now, I'm like exploring more of my creative side, as far as like physical creation, like creating things, and so I've been watching people make things that I didn't think about. Harlem on Prime, I like it. Richard was showing his cakes, and I love it. Work. Mm, 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 mm. So I had this piece of trade, right? Years ago when I was in high school. And I actually have never really told a story about him because why haven't I told a story about him? He just really it wasn't that important. But out of all the pieces of trade from my life that from that era of my life, he's the one that I talk the most to. No, no kind of and it wasn't romantic. Like I never had any kind of romantic. We had, but I never had any kind of romantic feelings for him. So there was no like didactic element of me and his story. So that's why I really never told it. Um, Yesterday we had like a 4 hour long conversation, and this nigga was telling me how he feels like bisexual, the B in the LGBT, has the hardest out of anyone. And when he first said it in the beginning, the conversation lasted 4 hours. Not about that, but he said it in the beginning of the conversation, and I ignored it because I'm like, nigga, get the fuck out of here. I don't even want to go down this rabbit hole with you. And so we went on with the conversation. We was talking about our favorite characters on Game of Thrones and shit like that and other shit. And then later on in our conversation, he brought it back up about the bee being having it the worst. And I was like, nigga, I was like, ever since I've known you, you have been a closeted fucking motherfucker. You want to suck penis. You want to do all the gay shit. You want to do all the stuff, but you don't want to deal with what comes with being that person. You don't want to deal with the consequence. And the complication is that you like women. You like cisgender women. You like them and you would want to be in a relationship with them, but you are sexually attracted to everybody. Like you like the taboo-ness of the queer stuff, right? And so in our conversation, we were exploring how all of that played out in our relationship over the years. So, from his perspective, when we hooked up, let me tell y'all the story about us hooking up. So, the first time, so he didn't go to our school. We were in high school, but he didn't go to our high school except for his last year of high school. So when he was a senior, he came to our school. And I was a junior. I had my mind on the boys that I had a crush on. He was not one of them. He was very average, very um he was not my type, but he was a bunch of the cisgender girls type. Like a lot of them like really, really liked him. And I didn't understand it, but I didn't really care because I was chasing somebody else. So I didn't really give it too much thought because he just wasn't my type. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all know what I mean? He just wasn't my type. So, but I knew that a lot of other people liked him. He was somebody. He was a new boy in school. All the girls would be whispering, "Oh, he's so fine. He this, da, 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 da." He was tall. He was slim. He had a cute little face. He just was very regular to me, very regular. And so we had a class together, and we had a psychology class together. And in the psychology class, he he they put us in a group assignment, and it was me, him, and two cisgender girls. And the assignment was to talk about how we would survive on an island together if we had to survive. So in that situation, he was high as fuck, like as far as weed high, like he had smoked or da da da. His eyes was red and he was laughing and shit, making jokes. And so when it was time, so the teacher is going around the room to each one of the groups, asking us to explain how we would have survived the situation. And so when it comes to our group, he tells the group, we all telling how we gonna survive, how we gonna eat, how we gonna sleep, how we gonna be, what we gonna build, what skills that each one of us have to do this, to do that, da 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 da. And all of a sudden, this nigga says, so did he high as hell in class? He says, how we gonna figure out who gonna give me some ass? And the teacher, this white man, this short little white man was like, Mr. Let's call him Smith. Mr. Smith, watch your mouth, young man, or I will kick you out of here. Da 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 da. That's not a don't be a prick. Um, that's not a part of the assignment. Da 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 da. But he has already said it, so everybody is busting out laughing. And so the girls in the group, one name is what was I no. One of them says, "It ain't gonna be me. You got me fucked up." Da, 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 da. The other sister, the girl, says, "It ain't gonna be me." Da, 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 da. You get the fuck out of here. Blah blah blah. So he looks at me and says, "Well, shit, you better get ready." And everybody start busting out laughing. And I say, "Boy, yeah, right." Blah blah blah. So it was a strange homoerotic moment where it was like, why did you say that? Why did you do that? What is going on? This is crazy. And he played it off as a joke. Everybody laughed. It was a joke. Oh, this nigga crazy. Blah, 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 blah. And he goes to, so we go leave the class, and that was the interaction with him. Fast forward to maybe that was like the beginning of the year, maybe like the second semester. I tell When that happens, I tell my gay best friend Mario. We've talked about him many times. My gay best friend Mario. Um, Now Mario doesn't go to the school anymore. He went with me as a freshman, but he stopped going to the school as a freshman and went to Warren Central, which is a whole far away school. So this is my junior year. So Mario ain't been to the school since my freshman year. So we talk on the phone all the time, and I can tell him that I normally wouldn't tell him, quote unquote, um, if he went to the school, because I feel like Mario can't hold water. So, but because he didn't go to school, I felt really safe. So I'm telling him all the teas. So I end up telling him the story about that psychology class or whatever. What I don't know, and this is a life lesson for me, um, the dude that I'm talking about, let's call him Tony. Tony says Tony likes big girls, not like there's plus size women talk about this all the time. There is a particular type of plus size woman that's acceptable. She usually has a figure eight body, like a Coke bottle body, is just bigger. So pear shaped, small waist, big old titties. It looks like a regular thick body, just bigger. Waist still small, but when it gets to being roly and it's apple shaped and it starts to be like that, they don't kind of showcase those bodies. They showcase the bodies like Ashley, what's her name? The white plus size model, Ashley Graham. Where it's bitch, you're probably a 16 girl, you probably or a 14, and they saying you plus size. You barely got any cellulite. It's a certain type of plus size body that even in the idea of showing plus size bodies is still an ideal, and it's not all shapes that are acceptable. I hope that makes sense. Y'all gonna have to look into that if y'all don't understand. But there's a certain type of plus size body that is like, oh, that's acceptable. That's just extra thick. But Tony likes bodies, the vixen body shape. Yes, but bigger. It's still Coke bottle. It's not apple. It's not pineapple. It's not watermelon. It is still Coke bottle, just big. But Tony likes the dude. He likes like big, big girls with rolls and jiggle, like 300 plus girls, big, jiggly, honey rolls and cellulite. That's what he likes, and not on no fetish shit. Like each one of his wives that he has married has been that because that's what he's like. And he literally has left one because she got the surgery and got skinny, and he left her because he was no longer attracted to her. Um, so yeah, it's his thing. So it's not just, and so, but he's this type of top, quote unquote, top tier. So this is my own internalized fat phobia coming out in high school. This is not how this is a lesson that I learned early on. So I didn't have it as an adult, but as in high school, because he was this skinny top tier nigga that all the bitches liked, I never in my mind would have thought he liked those type of girls. So in my mind, I didn't think of this. I didn't think it was that's what he liked, but that is what he liked. And so Mario has a best friend named Brandy. So Mario has me as a best friend and Brandy, the cisgender girl, as a best friend. But me and Brandy aren't friends, but we know each other, but we're friends with Mario. So when I tell him about Ronnie, Mario tells Brandy about Ronnie. But what me and Mario don't know is Ronnie hooks up with Brandy. So the reason why me and Brandy know each other is because in our freshman year, me, Mario, and Brandy's, we kind of clicked up together because we were the quote unquote misfits. She was the fat everybody roasted, Mario was the gay boy, and I was the tranny. So everybody tried to clown us for whatever reason. So it made us all click together. So when we was in the cafeteria, we would sit by each other and roast people that were trying to roast us. And we were like the misfits of the school because we were outside of the realm of quote unquote desirability or whatever that it crowd is with what you are socially. And so we kind of clicked together, but Mario ended up leaving, and Mario was me and her connection. So when she stayed at the school, we didn't really engage with each other like that. Me and Brandy, it's kind of like we didn't have any classes together because I was in AP classes, and she wasn't AP classes. They had different like college preparatory classes that I was in, and she wasn't in them. So I didn't really have a lot of classes with her or whatever. And so, but she was still friends with Mario, and I was still friends with Mario. So, I tell Mario thinking that it's all good because he doesn't have any connection to the school. Baby, what I didn't know is that Brandy was talking to Ronnie. Oh, Brandy was talking to him, and in that moment, he confronts me. He confronts me and says, "Oh my God, why did you?" We're both in a choir class, and he comes out the choir class and he says, he basically confronts me like, why you got my name in your mouth or whatever. Now, in now me, I have some trauma around bullying that leads me to violence because one thing that I hate, don't confront me about shit that I said in an aggressive way, like you trying to like you trying to put me on Front Street in front of everybody and get cool points. Like, I heard you got something to say, and that anything like that, like you trying to get cool points or something in front of everybody, child, that's the worst way to confront me. Because for me, in my mind, oh, you trying to get some cool points. Okay, well, you're gonna have to earn these. And so even if I didn't say it, instead of me saying, nah, I didn't say that. What are you talking about? Instead of me doing that, I'll say, what was you gonna do if I did say it? Oh, you was gonna try to fight me? Well, then let's fight. Let's get it over with. And most people are not used to a person doing that. Usually, if the person didn't say it, they'd be like, "Oh, I didn't say that. Da 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 da." And they like, "Oh, well, they said that you said it," and it goes back and forth. But I don't allow that. Like, if you're trying to get some coupons, you're gonna earn them by giving me them hands. Show me them hands though. You're gonna have to earn it through an ass whooping, not through trying to put me on Front Street. Because now I'm flipping it on you and putting it on Front Street. Because now in front of everybody, you have to prove what you would have done if I did say it. Since you so tough to confront me, motherfucker, show me. Show me you that tough. Because okay, let's act like I did say it. Show me. And so in that moment when he confronted me, I went into that mode because I'm thinking, am I gonna have to beat this nigga ass? Like if you confronted me about something, because it felt like he was trying to, like punk me or whatever, and that's trauma. I don't like that. I have trauma around being bullied all my fucking life, and by that point in high school, no, I'm fighting everybody because I learned in third grade, baby, when you beat some ass, motherfuckers stop fucking with you. So you're not about to confront me about shit. I don't care who the fuck you are. So he's confronting me, and I say exactly that. I was like, what if I did say it? What was you gonna do? Try to fight me? Then fight me. Let's go. You got more to lose than me. Because what looks worse? You beating me up or the faggot tranny beating you up? Which I most likely will, because I didn't see you fight. So what's up? And he was like, it ain't even that deep. What are you talking about? I was like, then what you confront me about something for if it's not that deep? So it has this weird ass moment where he like, yo, I just want to know why you said it. Cause I wanted to. Like I'm real confrontational. And that's not him. That's not his. I'm just me. I'm just taking it like that. It is really not his personality. He's a whole ass nigga. He is not a fighter. So, and clock this. Nobody is around. So my brain is taking it as if there's a crowd or an audience that he's doing in this for. Just because of the vibe. But nobody is around. So he's not doing this for cool points because nobody is around. He's catching me alone, but my brain, because it feels like a confrontation, my brain is taking it like that. But it's really not what he's giving. And so he was like, oh, this is going further than what I needed to go, where I needed you to go. I'm just asking you, where is this all coming from? Why did you do this? And I just leave it alone. I say, don't ask me about shit. I don't fucking know you, bro. I'm still being in aggressive mode. So he walks off and nothing comes of that. So I want you to think about this. The only two interactions that me and him have is that one, the weird ass almost fighting one, and the weird ass one in the psychology class. So he graduates. We don't really talk to each other. He graduated. Remember, I'm not really interested at all. So there's nothing about him that was like, ooh, let me do this. And so he graduates. What I don't know at the time is that he's actually a very old friend of my cousin Tyrone. So my blood cousin. And so my cousin Tyrone is bisexual. He's just kind of coming out the closet type of deal. I'm one of the family members that's kind of been doing my thing. And he's coming to me like, ooh, bitch, you the supreme. Teach me how to do what you do. Kind of like that. So, but he's a little bit more, he's more masculine. He's not trans or feminine gay. He's just a masculine gay man. Well, bi man. He does like girls, but he just prefer boys. But he does like girls. So he's not like the gay boys that be like, ooh, I'm bisexual, that don't date girls at all. He dates girls too. but really bi. But he preferred boys. Um, so he, my cousin, hits me up and was like, "Yo," he had never been with a boy before, but he was, I want to do it. And I was like, "Who do you want to do it?" And he wants to mess around with the guy, that guy, Tony. So he wants to mess around with him. And my cousin is asking me how do I turn boys out to teach him how to do it so that he can mess with his friend. And I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, well, let me tell you what to do. First of all, you gotta have some by yourself time. You gotta have some by yourself time. So it was this whole strategy plan of how to get you alone with him, and then you bring how to ease up the subject and how to, ease into whether or not he will do it or not. And so they had this little moment of messing around. Not messing around. They didn't mess around, but with my cousin trying to get him to mess around. But he didn't do it. Like he was like, nah, bro, that ain't my thing. But I ain't mad at you because you my friend, but that ain't my thing. I'm not gay. And so nah. That's not gonna happen. So yeah, we smoking weed and shit, but yeah, that ain't really my thing. So take me back to, my friend's house, and yeah, we still could be cool, but that ain't really my thing. So basically the whole plan that I put on for my cousin didn't work. But it was strange because it was a foolproof plan. Like it should have worked. I don't understand why it didn't work. Because everything leading up to it would have gave you the indication that he would have did it. But let me show you how he popped. Maybe 6 months after that. At least he wasn't violent about it. Um, he didn't want to be violent about it, baby. He better be glad that he glad he won. He glad he wasn't. He wasn't ready. Um, so about 6 months later, I get a voicemail on my phone, and it's him, and he's saying, "Hey, yo, I've been trying to get in touch with you. Can I come over your apartment?" Now, remember, I told y'all the interaction that we had, the psychology class, that weird ass moment where we was about to fight, of him confronting me about what Brandy had told him. So I didn't think it was him. I thought it was my cousin, Tyrone, playing on my phone because they do have similar voices. They from the same hood. They fucking from the same city, so they voice sound really just alike to me. So I called my cousin Tyrone and I was like, "Why are you playing on my phone?" And Tyrone was like, "What are you talking about?" I say, "Why you call and leave that voicemail acting like you was Tony?" And he says, "I didn't leave no voicemail. Tony called me and asked me for your number and I gave it to him." I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, well, let me call him back." So I hang up the phone and call him back. And Tony picks up and was like, "Hey, can I come over there? I got something to talk to you about." And I was like, "Huh? What are you going to talk to me about?" And he was like, "Where you stay? Let me just come over there." And I was like, "Okay." So so I get all cute. He's about to come over, and he um and he pulls up in this fire ass car. So what I didn't know is that Tony inherited, once he hit 18, he inherited like some money, like money. And just like any irresponsible 18-year-old, he bought himself like a bunch of shit that was like crazy. Like not crazy. I don't want to say it's crazy, but think about if you was 18 and you came across a bunch of money. Like money. And so he bought himself this fucking fire ass car that he got candy painted. put beats in it. That motherfucker is just, it's this bright ass color. It's just a fucking like a trick out my ride type of car because he had the money to do it, and it was like this fire ass car. And so he pulls up, it's beating. It just beating, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? I'm looking out the window. He gets out of this fire ass car. He looking fire, fresh to death. This one Coogie's was fire. This one, he had this Coogee sweater on. It was, I was like, what is happening? This is like a dream come true almost. you know, he just a whole different nigga than when we was in high school. And I'm like, so I'm looking out the window. My window, when the heat comes up, when the heat this is an old ass building. So it had one of them old ass thank you, Wade. Um it had one of these old ass steam heaters. Y'all know what those are? Like they heat your house with steam. It's like this metal thing that come out the floor. It's an old ass building. So when that thing was on, it would make condensation come on all the windows. And so when I opened up the window and I seen the car, I had to wipe the window to see what was happening. And so it looked like I was waving at him at the car. So I'm wiping the fucking window and he thinks that I'm waving at him at the car. And he waves back at me like, what the fuck? And so I have to come out the door because it's like my apartment door, and then it's another door that I have to open that leads to the other apartments. Because this is how this building is set up. It's a door to come in. Once you come in, it's an apartment to the left, my apartment to the right, and two more apartments upstairs. And so I had to open up that door. So I had to come out and open up that door. Now, mind you, this is actually the first time that he's seeing me like not at school, like done. When I would go to school, I would, I'm fish, but it's not done. It's like regular school because I wanted to be low key and not fucking um drawing attention too much because I didn't want to shake up the school too much, which is why, all the shit that happened with me so in my high school happened in my senior year because it wasn't how I was coming to school wasn't just, I was growing titties, I was wearing girl clothes, but I'm wearing jeans and Jordans. All the traders wearing jeans and Jordans, and Fish is wearing jeans and Jordans. You get what I'm saying? So it's very, it ain't mini skirts. It ain't like that. I wasn't dressing like that until my senior year. When he saw me, remember, he was a senior when I was a junior. So I hadn't started doing that till I was fucking late junior, early senior, but he had graduated already. So this is literally the first time that he's seen me like cow, like done. And so he comes in the door and he comes through and he was like, damn, you look good. Da 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 da, looking. And I sit him down and I sit down next to him and he's like, he was like, yo, I'm coming over here. This shit feel crazy as fuck. Now, mind you, I could tell that he's high. Like, smoking weed high. And I thought he was smoking weed high. He wasn't smoking weed high. This nigga is a whole straight cokehead. So he was everything high. And he come over, and which is the only reason why he had the courage to come over like he did. And so he says, he tells me, he was like, yo, like you don't know how much it took me for me to come over here, but I'm over here, man. And I want you to know I like you, and I'm trying to do some freaky shit with you. So what's up? I'm like, this is so random because there has been no conversation between us about us liking each other or doing anything. Remember, I didn't notice him. It was crazy. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, shit. Cool. What's up? What we gonna do? And he says, I was like, well, what you trying to do? The reason why I say that, because I wasn't as experienced at this age. I was like 17. I only had sex once. I didn't have sex again until I was 18. So as far as like getting penetrated, not, of course I sucked a lot of dicks. But I ain't, at this point in my life, I ain't getting plunged like, like, experience doing my thing. I ain't got to that level yet. So I'm like, ooh, I hope you don't think I'm about to let him get no cakes, baby, because you ain't about to get no cakes over here. Baby, I was like, I'll suck that thing, but you ain't about to get no cakes. That ain't what, I'm prepared for. Um, and so he says, well, shit, I want to suck your dick. So I'm like, yo, wait, hold on. Now, 40-year-old Diamond is a whole different woman than she was at 17. At 17, if somebody would have said this to me, and this is gonna sound strange as fuck, because it sounds strange as fuck to the niggas, I will go off. I would be like, ugh, you fucking faggot. You fucking faggot. What the fuck? That's gay as hell. And to a man, a cis man, hearing a trans woman talk about this is gay, to them it blows their mind, because they don't understand, like, what? What is happening here? How you gonna be calling me gay and you a whole trans woman? But that comes with, that's, honey, gender identity, gender dysphoria, baby. I'm a woman. And so other time I would have been like, ugh, get the fuck up out of my house. That's some gay shit. I don't like gay boys. I like straight boys. And straight boys, we supposed to do the girl. I do the girl stuff and you do the boy stuff. You giving me head, child. You ain't supposed to be wanting to give me your head unless you a faggot. Don't nobody like that. Ain't nobody trying to do with that. That's how I would be and kick you out. Wouldn't even have you. It would be my lane. But a bitch wasn't about to let this nigga, of how you rolled up in my apartment and how you a whole man. That's what they usually say. Yes. And let this dude, the prestige of this dude. This is just, no longer are you just, you're not just a dude. You are somebody that everybody wanted in school. I have to get you on my record. Regardless of whatever happens, something's happening in here. So I'm not about to kick you out like I normally, like if I met a, like a hood nigga on the street. No, you're not about to get kicked out. So I say, no, boy. I start laughing. And saying, boy, no. No, I'm a woman. You're a man. And honey, I'm going to do the woman stuff and you're going to do the man stuff. And he was like, he was shocked, and he kind of looked like, okay. And so, I, dim the lights, get all cute, and start doing my thing on him, gobbling. And so he nut real fast. And he was shamed about his little piece or whatever. Like he was like, he's like, it's soft, but it'll get big when it get hard or whatever. It was a very average piece. It got to the average size, nothing sickening. It was regular. Very regular. Nothing, not little, but nothing you gonna call your homegirls and be like, it's that dick was hot. None of that. None of that. But you still on my list. Check. So once we're done, I say, all right, baby, let's go. It's time to go, honey. Let's go. Bye-bye. And so he gets up and leaves. So I just told y'all my perspective of the story. That's my perspective. His perspective is he he calls my cousin because this whole time he's been having fantasies about messing around, but he's not attracted to boys. You know what I'm saying? He's not attracted to boys like him. He's attracted to, trans women and femme boys, like extra, extra femme boys. Like that. That's what sparked his interest. And so I was the only person he knew that was in the realm of what he was attracted to that he knew, but he never um he never would, like, he never had the courage to say something. And so because of the situation with my cousin telling him, "Oh, I'm gay and I want to mess around." Well, the way I told my cousin to do it, my cousin trusted him. I mean, not my cousin. He trusted my cousin. He didn't want my cousin because remember I told y'all my cousin is not feminine. He's masculine. And so my cousin trying to have him, what it did was let him know that, oh, I can trust him. So let me call him and try to get his cousin's number so I can talk to his cousin. So that's why the plan didn't work. He didn't want my cousin because my cousin was too masculine. He wanted me. So he just left the door open where he was like, "Oh, we can still be cool, but I don't want to have you." But he used that moment to say, "Hey, give me your cousin's number." And instead of my cousin being a hater ass motherfucker and being like, "Oh, I'm not giving you my cousin's number," my cousin was a real ass motherfucker. Was like, "Okay, here you go. Here's my cousin's number." And then my cousin calls me afterward and was like, "Did y'all have? Ronnie told me y'all messed around." And I was like, "Yeah, we did." And so that's what ended up happening. He ended up getting my number from my cousin. So he says, but I had to get he said, but I had to get so fucked up to have the courage to come to your house. And he was like, "I called you and nobody answered the phone. And I left a voicemail. And when I hung up the voicemail, he says, I was like, what the fuck did I just do? What if he let somebody listen to that?" Now, mind you, in his mind, this girl shit ain't in his mind. This is what the whole little situation with when I tell people about dudes. There are some dudes that, yes, they consider trans women women. They look at us as women. You'll meet them and they treat you like a woman. But there's some dudes that will use us literally as a gateway to homosexuality. And this is one of those dudes. And so him thinking of me as a girl was not in his mind. He was thinking me as just a souped up feminine boy. And as a teenage trans woman at 17, I don't have the lived experiences or the theory to explain it to him in a way. Because shit, I barely could explain it to my motherfucking self. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I knew where I was going, but I didn't have the education and the theory and the language to talk about it in a way to explain it to another teenage person. And so, the best way I knew to explain it was, I'm the girl, you the boy, I do the girl stuff, you do the boy stuff. And so that's where we were. So for him, in the moment, he was like, "Oh my God, I just fucked up my fucking life. Like, oh my God, I just left this voicemail that is super, super incriminating. And if they want to show somebody, they could expose me. Oh my God, I can't believe I did this. What the fuck am I doing? I'm tripping." He's like going through this process of where he's fucking with his mind. And so he says, but then I call back and I comfort him. In my mind, I'm not thinking of comfort. I'm thinking of, oh my God, this is real. Like, oh, this is serious. Like, I'm like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" In my mind, I'm just like, "What's up? Why are you calling me?" Because I was confused. Like, why are you calling me? And he was like, "Are you busy?" I'm like, no. He was like, I didn't want to interrupt anything. And I was like, you're not interrupting anything. What do you want? Why are you calling me? And then he says, I want to come over. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm not busy. You can come through. He was like, the way I was so nonchalant about it, it was comforting. And so he was like, well, maybe this is my chance. I ain't going to have no other chance. All right, I'm going to come. And plus, remember, he's uninhibited because he's high. And so when he comes over, he was like, then I pull up and I look up at the window. I see your motherfucking ass waving. So that really make me happy because it made me feel like you excited to see me. So my high brain was like, oh my God, she must have been really waiting for a nigga to come and happy to see me. She waving out the window and shit. I'm like, nigga, I was not waving out no motherfucking window. I was wiping the steam off the window so I could see what you was looking like. And so he was like, when I come in, I walk in the door and you like done. And you look fucking good. He was like, so I'm like, damn, this is fire. Like he was like, I was so excited because damn, like this is about to be fire because he do like girls. So he was like, now you like in your girl mode, and this is the first time I'm seeing it. And I'm like, now mind you, he doesn't say this in the moment. We're talking about this years later. And so I was like, how did you not see me as a girl in high school? How did you not I know that concept, but what I was wearing girl clothes. How did you not clock that? He was like, you were, but you were dressing like fucking he was like, you wasn't dressing sexy, you were dressing like a high school girl. When I came to your house, you was dressed like a grown woman. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Cause in high school, I was dressed like a high school girl, regular high school girl clothes, regular shit. But when I would be home and I'm going to the gay club and I'm going to all the, shit that's not at school, I got the heels on, I got the honey rain because I didn't have no money, so honey rainbow dress. Whatever I can find, whatever I can steal, child. When I can, try to be fly or whatever. And so he was like, you was dressed like a grown woman. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So he was like, but then, so I'm thinking it's about to be on and popping because I done made it here. I'm in the house, the door is closed. You looking good. My imagination was I was gonna do you, you was gonna do me, da 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 da. And when I tell you what I wanted to do, your motherfucking ass laugh at me. We love sneakers and in high school and sneaking jeans. Yes, girl. We love a little sneaker and a cute little top, honey. A cute little form-fitted top that hugged your hips, baby. Oh, yes, God. Honey, a Dennis Rodman, a Jordan, a Penny Hardaway, a Grant Hill. That was the 90s style, baby. And so I'm telling, I laugh at him. I do. And he was like, so imagine somebody who has never done anything queer. Air Max, right? A nasty Air Max for the guys. So he was like, imagine somebody who was never had done anything queer, finally get the courage to come tell the queerest motherfucker they know something that they want to do that's queer as hell, and that person laughs at them. He was like, I was so ashamed in that moment. My body was filled with heat of shame. How fucking gay do I have to be for the queerest person that I know to laugh at me about what I want to do? And your ass laughed at me and made me feel like the biggest gay person in the world. And he was like, I did, of all the things to expect when I came over your house, that feeling is not what I expected. He was like, this, he said this was it was a shameful moment. And you have always been an asshole like that. You have always been an asshole. I was like, an asshole? He was like, yes, you have always been a bitch to me. And I was like, how? Because I set a boundary with you? I didn't want to do that shit, that gay shit that you was trying to do. I was like, he was like, you've always like spoke your mind. You never give me no. Oh, but at the same time, he right. He was like, you always spoke your mind and you always been kind of direct. Like you don't sugarcoat shit. Like you don't make anything, you don't say anything that's not tender. He was like, you just been fucking direct. Like you never have been like you just say what's on your fucking mind, and it's usually harsh as shit. And so fast forward. So we end up messing around, right? Again, years later after the high school situation. So when I came back to Indianapolis, when I had, got custody of my brother or whatever, he ended up seeing me on like Black Planet or something. And so now, I'm a little bit grown with a little bit more experience. My palette of sexuality is a little bit more wide and broadened. Broadened a little bit more. So I like a little bit, I like my extras and like to do things that are, that a trans woman does, not just a woman. And so, he hits me up and he lives far away from me. He lives on the west side, like off of Girl Through Road, child. We live on the southeast. And so I go over to his house or whatever. And what I don't know is that his baby mama literally is in labor. At the time that we are messing around, she's at the hospital in labor. And this was his only time free. So he was like, "Oh, can you come over now?" Before I go to the hospital. Because I know she's not going to pop up. Because she's in labor. So but I don't know this until after. So I come over and honey, we do all the things. All the things that he wanted to do in high school, we did all the things. All the extras, 69, him getting plunged, me getting plunged, everything, all the things. And so that's how we hook up then. Anytime after that, I have always been the top. Like I don't even play none of the other shit. Child, bend over, put my thing in your mouth. I just treat him like a slut. And he lives. One of the reasons why he lives is because he is somebody who, the girls do whatever he wants them to do, they chase him. It's just something about him that because he's funny, he has a personality, he's handsome, honey, they chase him and be on his nuts. And for some reason, it's boring to him. Like he was like, I like women. I want to be in a relationship with women, but there's no kind of pushback. There's no kind of fight with them. Not fight, but he was like, it's easy to pull them. He was like, with you, he was like, you don't give me, he was like, whatever you want me to, this guy was popular, right? Yes. He was like, your ass, you will come in the city and I don't even know you here. I gotta chase your ass down. Some guys like to get slutted out, absolutely. And the aggression that I have, like because how we started off, the concept of him was much, much more the prestige, the pop of, I got the nigga people wanted. He wanted a bit of domination in his situation, absolutely. And so, I'm very direct with him. Like I tell him I don't want to do nothing, or Um, if I need some coins, honey, give me your wallet. I want you to buy me a room. So, I told you he'd come up on some coins. So, he's been having coins all his life, and he always been working. So, honey, get us a room, and I'll keep the room. You get out. Like if I'm visiting, he'll get me a room and get the fuck out, and I'll have some more trade come over. He's just one of but he's cool as hell. But we also have a lot in common. So I say all of that to say this: we recently had like a 4 hour conversation, and he brought that bisexual shit up, and I had to read him because I'm telling him, I'm like, the box that you in it by fucking choice. Like you call me and vent to me about you how hard it is to be bi. Nobody will accept that you like what you like, and you wish that you could find a woman that was open to what you like to do, and blah 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 blah. It's so hard. It's so hard. I say, bitch ass nigga, get the fuck out of here. You talking to a whole trans woman over here who has been fired 3 times from my job for being trans and changed the trajectory of my life. Nigga, we got motherfuckers doing specials about our motherfucking existence. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. Every shit that you got going on is you that's in your brain, because don't nobody know shit about what you got going on. Don't nobody know what you do. Don't nobody, except for the people you mess around with. And I know them. I know who they are. So, child, get the fuck out of here. You don't have nothing hard. And he was like, just because everybody don't have the strength that you have. And I was like, right. You right. Everybody don't have the strength that I have. But I'm not the only one that has the strength. There's tons of people out here living their truth. And you won't be the only motherfucker. If you come out and tell your wife that you like to get down, you won't be the only motherfucker. Now, he don't have no wife now. He's single now. But if you come out and tell a chick that you dating, yeah, you might not want to pop it out as soon as y'all hook up. But if you ease it out on her, you might find one that fucking fuck with it. But you ain't even trying. You ain't even trying to do that. I literally talk to people who like cis women that like bi men. Cis women that watch gay porn. He was like, every time I look in the comments, some motherfucker talk about gay people, it's shit. Black women worse than that. You can't do nothing with them without them thinking you gay or saying some negative shit about gay people. They do it too, just like the niggas. Yeah. When you come out, or come whatever, when you come out, are you gonna lose some community? Absolutely. There's gonna be some community that you fucking lose. I'm gonna keep it real with you. There's gonna be some community that you lose, but it's gonna be community that you fucking gain. It's gonna be motherfuckers that's like, oh, yo, I kind of like that. You're gonna be able to find it. You're gonna be able to be looking for it. You're gonna be able to, motherfuckers who know that you get down like that like it, be like, oh, well, let me fuck with him. He fine as shit. I didn't even know he got down like that. Will your pool of people get smaller? Maybe so. Yeah, sure. But it's gonna hone you in to what motherfuckers do want from you. I mean, what motherfuckers will be down with it. So you're making the choice to be in a closet and in this struggle situation because you're scared to lose ton of swinger club. We out here indeed. It's tons of fucking I don't want to say it's tons of women, but it's enough out here for you to find. Are you gonna have those toxic ass homophobic women? Yes, but fuck them. You're looking for the ones that do fuck with us, are gonna fuck with you, that's gonna like it. And if they don't know you out here because you in the fucking closet, then how you gonna find a woman that's down? You gonna keep running into these because you run in the circle of toxic men. You're gonna keep running in the circle of toxic women that think like them. That's what it's gonna be. That's what you're gonna always deal with. So what the fuck are you talking about? You have it harder. You are sitting doing nothing to change it. You literally sit on my phone talk about how people get on your nerves being anti-LGBT on your list. You ain't deleted them. Do you confront it? You don't say shit. I don't see you arguing back and forth on your post. Only thing I see you doing that's semi-cute is when motherfuckers wonder why I'm on your list, and they know my T because we all went to high school together. You say that's my friend, and I'm not deleting her. You got me fucked up. That's been my friend since high school. Yeah, you do that, but they don't give me no. I don't give you no cool points for that shit. It's tons of other niggas that added me on their list. But that's the only thing. I don't see you in the comments when motherfuckers say some homophobic shit, telling them, pushing back on them. You just let it ride. You don't agree, you don't like it, but you just let it ride, motherfucker. So all this is on you. All this is on your shit. He was like, you don't understand. But also, it's degrees to this bi stuff. I don't think I'm gay enough to be coming out of no fucking closet. Then what are we talking about here? So you're making the decision. He was like, well, I like women and I want to be in a relationship with women. I just want to fuck with dudes. I said, I know cisgender women who are bi, who have the exact experience. They want to be with a man, but they don't mind women sexually. Sure. And I know it's a difference between men and women. Absolutely. When it comes to homophobia, I know. But you have to stand. Are you a man or not? You have to stand on your own two motherfucking feet and say, this is what the fuck I like. Fuck you. Fuck you. Nigga, you over 40 and you still worried about what other motherfuckers is thinking? Really? Fuck out of here. And you talk about you got it hard. Get the fuck out of here. And I got really serious and passionate. He was like, why are you yelling at me? I was like, because I'm passionate about this. Don't get on my motherfucking phone. As a trans woman, it is disrespectful and dismissive to me for you to sit on my phone and say that you got it worse than I do. I'm sorry. Y'all motherfuckers ain't out here getting killed. You ain't losing no job because you bi. Nobody know. Don't nobody know. Don't nobody know your ass is bi. The problem is they want to be desirable to everyone. Exactly. They feel like it's going to close them off. Losing hateful people is a plus. Facts. Nobody is as bold as a trans woman. I don't know. No, I think extra femme presenting gay men, especially if they dress very, very flamboyantly. I think them and non-passable trans women have it the hardest when it comes to the public. Because they have a similar people have a similar reaction as they navigate the world. Like very femme dressing gay men and unpassable trans women. Because if you look at gay men, even if they femme acting, they at least sometimes, most of them try to present a look that's masculine. A look that's masculine because that's more palatable. Even if like they start talking and they giving you honey child, at least when they're navigating the world with their mouth closed, motherfuckers might think that they're a regular dude and treat them as such. But when you are a, heel wearing femme, those pray tell type of dudes, colorful, those kind of gay men, I think the public response to them is very, very similar to a non-passing trans woman. And that may be controversial in some settings, but I don't know. I'm diamond, I keep it real. And yeah, how the public reacts to them can be very, very similar. And I think they have the hardest because the when the bottles get thrown, when the bottles and tomatoes and the eggs and and the reaction happens, it's usually towards them. It's not usually towards the stud lesbian. Do they get it sometimes? Sure. But usually the stud, the masculine of center lesbians, they're kind of normal. They kind of don't fuck with them too much. The masculine gays, they barely know if they gay or not, so they don't really fuck with them. But when you have a visual trigger that says people, oh, that's some trannies or that's a queen, child, they respond to it. They respond to it negatively. So you telling me you buy and it's hard for you? Get the fuck out of here! If you don't get out of here, bro, stop playing in my face on my phone. Duh. And even I was like, even your woe is me story, because we start talking about fatness because we were all over the place for 4 hours. And so we were talking about fatness. Now he grew up fat as a kid, like a fat kid that got skinny. So he used to be teased as a kid. So at like 13, he started working at his father's shop just because his parents wouldn't buy him the fly shit. And he was like, I can't be going to school fat and not fly. Because no, I gotta work so I can at least have some fly clothes. And he was telling me this whole sad woe is me story about being bullied, about being fat, and having to work so young just to get fly school clothes. And the way he was selling it was like it was the saddest thing in his life. But as a trans woman at 13 who was in a group home and having to work because my mother was on drugs and relapsing, and in order for me to get out the group home, I had to work and save money so I can get an apartment by the time I was 16, 17. You telling me this sad story about you being bullied with your parents at home and having to go to your dad's shop to work as a sad story, nigga, get the fuck out of here. Now I know that that's your situation, but my situation was so dire and different than your situation. In real life poverty situation, it just doesn't resonate with my ears the same. So I'm sitting on this phone like, are you really sitting here trying to sell me this sob story about your daddy who owned a shop and shit? I am I gonna really sit here and think about this shit? And then when I tell him what I was doing at 13, he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, yo. You just made my shit look so dumb and stupid." I was like, it's not that it's not that's your scenario. I'm sure it was really, really sad for you in your scenario. But for me, it's like, oh, okay. I could have handled that. I never thought like that, but you're right. I agree. There's a degree of narcissism involved in their way of thinking. I'm not sure they really care about what others think. It's really more about how they see themselves. Narcs believe their lies. Um, yes. I don't think he's a narcissist. I think like many men of all kind, gay, trans, cisgender, but especially cisgender. I think many men don't have to always have a panoramic view of other people's situations. And so because they don't have to do that as they navigate, as you get further up the totem pole of social hierarchy, it's even more bleak. So like a cisgender man will have less perspective of other people than like a gay man or a white gay man. And that white gay man will have less perspective of other people than like like a gay black man. And it just keeps going further and further down in regards to how you have to navigate the world and see other people's perspective. The further you go up, the further they lose perspective about everybody else. And he navigates the world as a cis black man. So his perspective of life is from a cis black man's point of view. And so literally in our conversations, I have to debunk a lot of the shit he talks about because sometimes he be on some hotep shit where you don't even know the facts of this situation. This is what you think because you want to be and it's not that he's anti-woman. They're just, they're just indoctrinated in misogyny. It's like gay men. Like when you think about gay men and how they engage with women, it's almost, if you don't look good, gay men, like as far as a cis woman, and even trans women, if you don't look good, they don't give a fuck about you at all. Trans women have a full view of everybody. Sometimes trans women, particularly passable ones, don't have a full view of being unpassable, especially if they had a look in the beginning of their transition. Because some girls, regardless, because of their natural look, like if like say that Alonzo Arnold wanted to transition. I don't know what they're doing, but say that they wanted to transition. Alonzo he naturally looks like a little ass bitch, like a little girl. He naturally looks like a woman. So if he wanted to transition and get, some tune-ups with some work or whatever, he would be so sickening because he eats bitches up now. Just without even trying. There are some trans women who just they just naturally look like a girl. And so even without surgeries and shit, that's why it's crazy to me when people be like, oh, your doctor did amazing. I'm like, bitch, I was fine before I got any work done, bitch. Fuck out of here. And the stuff that you think I got, I didn't get. Like I ain't getting no nose job. I didn't get, shit like that. People think the fucking doctor just worked you over. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. But there are some if there are some trans women that don't have a full scope of people experience because of their own privileges. That could be colorism. I know a ton of light-skinned trans women that don't understand the colorism thing, especially if they biracial. Child, them bitches fighting for their life to be seen. But sometimes gay dudes, because of misogyny, they only value women who look good. If you're beat, you only have value to them when you got a look to you, and they will treat you like nothing if you don't. The misogyny, the patriarchy, the privilege, or should not him being stressed because he wanted new school clothes while you were looking for a roof over your head. Right. Hey, boo. Hey, Deneen. But yes, I wanted to tell y'all that story. Gay men do that to other gay men too. It's superficial culture when it comes to looks, depending on if they have a piece or not. Because another thing in the culture is that we assume that ugly men have big dicks. Right. Some trans women never get the experience of being treated like a regular woman by a man. It is a unique experience for passable trans women, as shallow as that sounds. That's not shallow, that's real. There's a privilege to be able to walk around the street and not get clocked. And men who date us benefit from that. Not just us. They benefit from it. So they don't have to have the come to Jesus moment of, man, if I'm walking her down the street with my passable girl, nobody is going to say nothing. So nobody is going to do anything that I have to be confronted with. How am I going to protect this trans woman? But if she's not passable, when we go everywhere we go, I'm gonna have to defend my position as a man and my position in why am I dating this trans woman? Or, y'all not gonna bother her why she's with me. A lot of men who don't date passable trans women, they don't have to confront that and prove themselves as a man in those situations. Period. They just don't. And so a lot of passable trans women, because they have that privilege of being passable, the men they date, they don't find out their ugly side until later, because they can navigate the world without people thinking that, with people thinking that they're like just a regular cis couple. It doesn't come till later when that dude fails you, when it's time for him to protect you and defend you, and then something happened where your tea gets out, and then that same nigga fails you and want to stop fucking with you and want to leave you alone, or it shakes him, then you're gagged. Mhm. They don't want, or they don't have to. And then, it's like the same thing that happened with the stealth girls. Like or sex change, stealth, da 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 da. You think that it's not until you're confronted with that one experience where the dude has to, where the dudes fail to think like you think they should think. Where, you know, ooh, especially if you're a girl, something happens where your tea is out and you feel like, oh my God, I need community in this space, because either your nigga has failed you, your cishet community that you valued so much, that you thought you were protected in, they failed you. And so now you got to run back to the queer folks. Oh my God, I'm being discriminated against. I'm being unfairly treated. I'm a trans woman, but you weren't trying to be trans before. You was trying to be cis. You were being the cis woman with the defect. But you alienate the community though. Absolutely. That's why I love a bitch who like is a sex change that and passable, that not stay in community but don't alienate community. The ones that like fuck with you and fuck with everybody. Those are ones that I fucking ride with. But it's some that's like, I see you. You weird. You weird, man, or bruh, whatever. Because trans men do it too. They're included. Some of them be real toxic to community afterwards. And it's harder to make friends the older you get. I don't think I don't want to say this. It's not true for me. I I think my ability to make friends has expanded. Not expanded. I think I can make friends, but it's for me, I can make friends, but I'm very selective about friends now. I feel like growing up as a part in my mind, some of the people I became friends with was because we were trans. It wasn't because our personalities meshed well. It wasn't because you get what I'm saying, we had a lot of shit in common. It was because, honey, we both are trans or we both are queer. There's some lesbian girls that I was friends with that we was only friends because we were LGBT, not because we liked each other as a person. You was protected being cis. Yeah. And now that you're not, it's not the tea. But yeah, there's some people, our personalities vibe, like Ty, our personalities vibe. We had shit in common. So it wasn't just our transness. That's what how our friendship lasted long. We had similar ideologies, similar interests and shit like that. But there were some people that I was friends with that we were only thing that we had in common, we were trans. And so now that I'm older, it's not that I can't make friends, it's that I am really focused on the quality of friendship. We can't just share one identity and I think that we can be friends. We can't just be black because I know all skin folk ain't kinfolk. We can't just be trans. You can't just when I befriend gay men, I can't befriend all gay men because some of y'all is trash. Because some of y'all is garbage. um, Trans women cannot be friend. All trans women just because we trans, nope. Because some of y'all is trash, trash, garbage. As far as your integrity, as far as just it is some bitches out here that will cut your motherfucking throat, figuratively and literally for some dick. For a purse, for a come up, for opportunity, they will wear you out. And so, yeah, you got to, you can't be friends with everybody. Everybody is not, everybody don't have the quality of personhood to be a friend. Mm-mm. But yes. But I just wanted to tell y'all that story because it was an interesting conversation that we had yesterday. Hey, Poke, Miss Poke. Mm. So make sure y'all follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and on Facebook. My TikTok, I'm Diamond Styles everywhere, child. DIAMONDSTYLZ. Um, ooh. Look, as soon as I go on Instagram, you pop up. That is hilarious. Us redhead girls. Yes, baby. But all right, y'all. It's been 2 hours and y'all done got quiet, child. So I'll be back Friday. We can chat about something that's going on. I have tea. Some shifts have happened, decisions were made, and we will talk about it Friday. Make sure you tune into Marsha's Plate so y'all can listen because it's about Marsha's Plate. And yeah, we will talk, and I'll see y'all later. Where is it? Oh. Oh, make sure y'all thumbs up. We good.